Hey guys, welcome back into the channel. As always, your host here, Clinton Yoder, my co-host, Cory McClendon, and welcome into Yoders Talk podcast here. We're excited to bring you another episode today. We have an exciting, fun episode today with a couple good friends of Cory, some new business owners that started a business recently, and so we're excited to just chat with them and talk through some challenges and things that they have faced. So we're gonna have a good conversation today, Cory.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. And you're going to hear a lot about what they're doing in the golf community, and you're going to see some links down below in the bio. Just give them a like. Go check out their Facebook page, their website, and I guarantee you, if you have any interest in golf and you're around the North Jefferson area, you're going to want to give them a try.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we're excited to bring this to you. We just want to welcome everyone in to another episode of Yoders Talk. We believe in our business here, and it sounds like that's kind of the way y'all went as well, is that always remember why we're doing it. And if you can, and the why is most times has family meaning to it, family backing to it, you know. And so if you get so consumed and you leave, you know, I'm doing it for my family, I'm doing it to, you know, set my family up and for success and things like that. But then you never are, you know, you leave your family.
Abandon your family.
That's the word I'm looking for. Abandon your family in the process. Then what was the point?
Yeah.
Sometimes Lauren has got to kind of throttle me back sometimes, because I'll be, you know, she's telling me about her day and stuff, and I'm hearing, you know, that as we communicate. But then, like, I'm like, oh, listen what happened today with work or the podcast, and then, you know, okay, great, awesome, and then, you know, 5 hours later, we're sitting there over dinner, and I'm like, oh, this also happened. And I'm just constantly talking about work. And
hey, guys, welcome back into the podcast here. We're excited to get this episode 3 already for season 4, Cory. We are starting to roll through this thing already, getting close to the end of March here. I think this one's going to be released actually in the first week of April, something like that. And so we're excited to keep this thing going, keep this thing rolling out to y'all. Cory, today we got some guys that on the podcast here today that you know really well, and so I'm gonna let you bring them in.
Yeah, I got two really good friends here. I go to church with them. I've got Ryan Pridmore and I got Mason Davis. And I think I just butchered that again, didn't I? Did I butcher your last name?
Nope, you said it good.
Oh my gosh. I'm so self-conscious about it. But these two guys, they own Par Patrol, and that's a golf simulator in Warrior, Alabama. And you guys are just getting after it, and we love guys who are starting up and starting to get out of that, hey, we're out of the startup mode, now we're trying to kind of get into the infancy of business and stuff like that, and all the challenges that brings. And so we're honored to have you guys on.
Yeah. So thanks for having us.
Yeah. Well, you know, me and Clinton actually got to come down, and I would say, you know, first of all, our experience at y'all's place was amazing.
Yes,
y'all done
place.
Such a great job making an environment that is just so welcoming and kind of, and you know, when we were first talking about this and everything, you said, you know, in y'all's what y'all sent us, that y'all were trying to create an experience that is for every level of golfer, whether you're scratch or just getting started or just trying to work on your game. And I can tell you, I experienced probably the lower level of the skill set there when I came, because I couldn't hit a ball straight, and that was not on y'all. That was on me. It's an input problem.
Yeah, it's something that it's a continued thing on the golf course as well. So
yeah.
What'd you shoot yesterday?
101.
101.
Yeah, that was terrible.
Yeah.
Started it out with hole 1, double bogey.
Right off the bat. You can't if you birdie the first hole, you might as well count out the rest. So hey.
Well, that's what I told myself. Was on the first hole, I hit a double bogey, and I was like, you know what, today may be a good day. Because if I ever start with a birdie or par, it's downhill from there, baby. But it did not end in that way. But guys, we really enjoyed coming down and hitting on y'all's simulators and stuff like that. So talk to me just as we get rolling. How did it kind of start? I know you guys knew each other from church. Y'd been friends, kind of playing in some golf tournaments together and stuff like that. So talk to me kind of where the name came from and where the idea started.
Take it away, Mason. Man, so me and Ryan co-led a group at church on Sunday evenings, or the fourth Sunday of every month. We would do a community group at church, and we just kind of got a group of guys together, just kind of summarize this. And we had a group, and we would get a bunch of guys together, and we'd just play some golf, and we would be playing. And if I was playing well, I
or
would just,
if he thought he could beat me,
or if I thought I was playing well, or when I would make a very rare par, I would just say, "Man, I'm on par patrol today," and it was
good.
It was just catchy, because the show, Paul, I can't even say Paw Patrol. It's not even in my vocabulary anymore.
Yeah.
So it was just a catchy phrase, and it just kind of stuck. So I had hats made. Well, the hats were they were booming, so they sold.
Nice.
And so I did an LLC, got hats made, they sold, and I kind of went to Ryan. I said, "Hey, have you ever let's do an indoor simulation?" He said, "I've been thinking about it." So we just did it. We have no idea what we were doing. So within a couple months, we had just had this idea thrown together like scrambled eggs, and we just did it. And that was January of 24.
Yep.
And we were open in August of 24.
Nice.
And here we are. So I mean,
I love when things like that and most great success stories start like that. If you think about it, it's like somebody just had an idea and they're like, you know what, let's just do it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like through our podcast, we're no podcasters, and when it was brought up, we're just like, why? What are we trying to do here? But then we just did it.
Yeah.
And it brought success. So a lot of people don't realize the fact it's the step that the first step forward is where most people don't take.
Yeah. You're scared of failure. I mean,
100%.
terrified.
Well, kind of like what he said when he said he put it on a hat. It's because I think one day we were on the course and I said, "Mason, I don't think that phrase is working for you because you're not catching it. I think you should put it on a hat." and then, lo and behold, he goes and does it.
And I go and I do it. And, I seek wise counsel from, Ryan as a friend and like other people that, I respect and, trust their opinions. And it just took, the hats were great, and we've kind of gotten away from the apparel, because there's so much going on, because we've learned so much through trial and error already, and we're still learning every day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because if you're not learning, you're not growing.
Absolutely,
so,
absolutely.
But
adapt and evolve.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. That's awesome, man.
That definitely our experience is that is just the starting, just taking that first step, like Clinton said, like you guys are saying, just get after it and just move forward in it and learn lessons as you go. And the thing is, like I talk about, like it's funny, like now that you're sitting here where you guys are at now, and we're going to get into a ton more of that, like you can look back and you can say like, okay, probably shouldn't have done it that exact way, right?
I think we say that every day.
we look back and we're like, man, we wasted a lot of money we did not have.
But the thing is, like I oftentimes see a lot of people, they get stuck in that, analysis paralysis, and they just are like, oh, well, if I'm going to do this, I got to have every little detail figured out. And then all of a sudden 3 years rolls around and all you got is an idea on a piece of paper.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, although there's some areas that, you need to think about some things, but there's power in just saying, hey, listen, let's just take that first step. Let's get this thing rolling. We'll figure out the rest as it comes.
Right.
So,
but it's always a challenge as you move through, like the stage you're in now. You're always looking to adapt, make things better, and work through it. It's always a challenge because you get to a point where you want to arrive, in a sense, you could say, meaning have it all figured out. But you just never do. It's like it's always just out of reach. But that's what makes you good. That's what makes you better, is because I always say that if you ever arrive, it's downhill from there. That means you've reached the top. And most businesses, if you study history, when they feel like they've arrived, from that day forward, within a year to 2 years, they'll fail. And so it's always, being innovative and just continuing to improve. And and I've got experience both ways. I've experienced it where I thought I arrived and that business failed completely. And but today I realize the value of just continuing to find areas to be better.
Yeah.
And a lot of it starts with us as individuals. A lot of times we look at it just in the business, the way we do the business or run the business, but a lot of it starts with us. If we're honest, the way we grow as leaders, the way we grow as business owners, and with y'all are in a partnership. I'm assuming that's how y'all have it, and working together in that area. I know sometimes partnerships can be, because I'm in one and I have been through some of them. Sometimes there's challenges that you have to face in partnerships. Just there's two different opinions at times, but just that's something that a lot of people ask us about. And so I'm gonna ask y'all, how do y'all typically work through things like that? Because again, sometimes you have an opinion, sometimes you have an opinion, and is there, do y'all have anything to share on that?
I would love to talk about
it.
No, so I mean our partnership, it wouldn't work without each other.
Right.
We have our own way that we navigate everything. Mason is reaching for the sun and the stars and the moon, and I'm holding his feet down to the ground.
There you go.
No, Mason has a great vision on things that he wants to do, and we bring everything that we bring to the table. We bring to each other. Nothing gets done without us talking about it. And so Mason will bring me ideas, and I'm kind of like, Mason, I think that's going to cost a little bit more than our bank account shows. And he's like, yeah, you're probably right. and then he brings it out of me as well. He says, no, we need to do this. And I'm like, yeah, I can see where, we need to take this step and continue to grow and try to get there.
So great communication is probably.
Yeah. We communicate a lot. And there was a time where we went through a phase of, where we had brought in some very wise counsel where we were advised to stop communicating so much because it was where we didn't see it, but it was kind of an unhealthy situation, probably to his wife and at the time my girlfriend, now my fiance. But where we were communicating a lot and texting and conversation, it was business, and it's like, okay, we have a life. He has a wife and kids and a family, and so sometimes business can get overwhelming and drowning. So it kind of goes back to your point of, hey, it's good to have these goals and these aspirations, but at the same time, you have to work on your self goals, and you have to achieve these, and so you have to kind of be grounded. But Ryan's right, I have this vision, and he keeps me grounded, and at the same time, we're always there and we communicate with everything.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, that's the thing. It sounds like y'all complement each other.
Yeah.
And that's so good.
We
with
call
the
that
partnership.
brother-in-law golf. It's like good brother-in-law golf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's the thing is you got to have somebody that's reaching for the stars on your team, that's pushing, going, hey, this is what we need to achieve. But you also got to have somebody that keeps you from running out of money. So I know a lot of times I think we kind of you're I have a lot of great ideas.
Yeah.
But sometimes the money's not right.
Yeah.
So
And one thing that you said too that I think is very powerful is the thing of that healthy balance of family and work.
Yeah.
We actually, that's one of our core values in our business is family, healthy balance of family and work, because it can consume you. It can absolutely consume you to an unhealthy point, like you said.
Yeah.
And but we believe in our business here, and it sounds like that's kind of the way y'all went as well, is that always remember why we're doing it. And if you can, and the why is most times has family meaning to it, family backing to it, you know. And so if you get so consumed and you leave, you know, I'm doing it for my family. I'm doing it to, you know, set my family up and for success and things like that. But then you never are, you know, you leave your family.
Abandon your family.
That's the word I'm looking for. Abandon your family in the process. Then what was the point?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And we talk about it like this. Like I tell my guys, like that core value to me, it can be seasonal too. There's going to be a season where I've got to be really, really invested in work, right? But that doesn't mean that immediately when that season's done, I don't go, okay, now I've had this 80, I wouldn't say 80, but say I have a 60-40 break. Well, for a couple of weeks, now I'm going to flip it over where I'm 60-40 the other way to create that balance back. And I know, and it's hard for guys sometimes, especially when you're doing something that you're passionate about, right? To throttle that. I know I struggle sometimes. Lauren has got to kind of throttle me back sometimes because I'll be, you know, she's telling me about her day and stuff, and I'm hearing, you know, that as we communicate. But then, like, I'm like, oh, listen what happened today with work or the podcast. And then, you know, okay, great, awesome. And then, you know, 5 hours later, we're sitting there over dinner, and I'm like, oh, this also happened. And I'm just constantly talking about work. And she has to be like, hey, like, she does it in a really, really great way, and I'm really thankful for her because she does it like, hey, I just want to let you know you've talked about work like 5 times since we've been sitting here. And, you know, so it's good to have that check in your life because when passion comes out, like, we don't really see the boundary.
Yeah,
right?
I agree with that.
We just we're just really fired up for it, and I can totally see with what you guys are doing. I don't like not talk about golf. Like my wife does not care not one rip about golf. Like I have begged her to go golfing with me. I'm like, you'll love it. You'll ride around the golf course. I'll even let you drive the golf cart. Like trying to sweeten the deal. And she's like, I just don't think that I would enjoy that. And I'm like, it's the best thing ever. And you know, but if golf was in my kind of work situation, I could definitely see where I would just run over. Like, so I could see that's a challenge, and I'm happy that you guys are recognizing that early and understanding that that's a we've got to kind of get a rein in on it.
Yeah. But I mean, going back to like what Clinton said, like, but once at the same time, it's also a beautiful thing when you do have these visions that you kind of spew, because going back to what Clinton said, if you have no vision or if you're out and you think you've reached the peak, then failure's next.
That's right. Absolutely.
So it's aggravating at the same time that you continue to overthink, and you're like, because I'm horrible. Like my brain doesn't shut off. I'm like, okay, even when I'm at, you know, my full-time job, I'm like, what can I do next for Par Patrol? And I'm shooting Ryan these ideas. It doesn't stop. Or my fiance's like, hey, I love that you're creative and you're thinking, but like this is not going to happen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And it's good to have that reeling it in and having this creative idea and all this stuff. So I'm not at the peak, and I'm glad, and I'm thankful for that.
Yes. And I think like I said, if you keep that in mind throughout the whole process, and you never truly reach it, that's when you know, it just continues to grow, and it turns into something that you actually maybe bigger than you even envisioned at the beginning. Even. Right. And you know, I always say that the vision never really changes, the overall vision, but on the journey there, you kind of start seeing, you know, it may change a little directionally, I guess you could say. And that's healthy. I think that's actually really healthy when it does change a little bit, because I'm the type of guy, and I think me and you would get along really good in this one area, is that I'm very squirrel-minded, meaning this idea, and then over here's another great idea. And then over here's another great idea, and there's another great idea, and it's but it comes from a heart of passion. Yeah, it does. It comes from a heart of passion, but it is kind of a thing where you gotta you have to dial it in so you don't get too far off the actual original vision, because you paint that path at the beginning of what you really want it to look like, and if you're not careful with that mindset and with all them ideas, you can really quickly get in left field, you could say, away from what you originally were focused in on. So
squirrel.
Squirrel.
Hey guys, I hate to interrupt, but we just got a delivery from the Farmhouse Coffee.
All right, bring it on in.
Yeah.
Hey, while you're bringing that in, Sean, let's go ahead and cut to their commercial.
Yes, sir.
There is just something about the first sip of coffee in the morning. It sets the tone for the whole day. And if you're like us, you know that not just any coffee will do.
That's why we start our mornings with Farmhouse Coffee. Freshly brewed, handcrafted, and served straight from their coffee truck. Their coffee isn't just a drink, it's an experience.
Whether you need a smooth cup of coffee to ease you into the day, or a bold brew to fuel your hustle, they've got you covered. No gimmicks, no shortcuts, just great coffee made fresh every single time.
And the best part, they're always on the move, bringing their amazing coffee to different spots around town.
To find where they are setting up next, check out Farmhouse Coffee's Facebook page, and trust us, once you taste the difference, you'll be tracking them down every single morning.
Farmhouse Coffee, brewed fresh, served with purpose.
All right, well, let's just dive into the next kind of where my mind goes with this is, you guys got such a great thing going. Talk to me a little bit about what you guys hope the people that come into Paw Patrol get out of it. Is there anything that I know you want them kind of experience, the cool side of getting into a golf simulator and things like that, but is there any extra motivation behind that?
Clinton might want to say something because he said Paw Patrol. So
did I say Paw Patrol?
Yeah, you got kids. It's okay. So I'll let Ryan handle that question. So.
Paw Patrol.
You said Paw Patrol?
I probably did.
You said Paw. That is great,
dude. I got
my son's gonna watch this one now.
Hey, hey, that's fine. We get it.
Wiley's
all the time.
gonna be
That's
locked
why
in
we
on
did
it.
the name.
Yeah, because now it brings
it's
attention
so
to it.
catchy.
I love that.
Yeah, I mean, our goal when someone comes in is we're all about community.
Yeah.
So we don't, like you kind of said earlier, we don't care if you're a great golfer, medium golfer, or the worst golfer in the world. What we want you to experience is just a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If you are a bad golfer and you're coming in and you just want to work on your swing, work on your game, we're going to set you up. We're going to get you on the driving range. We're going to get you dialed in on your numbers. Mason and I, we don't do lessons. There is a guy that we have that kind of does them on his own. But, we'll help you. We'll give you swing tips. That's one thing about me. I'm precision when it comes to the golf swing. I'm always trying to perfect my golf swing. I can probably help someone else with their golf swing better than I can do it to myself because I don't listen to myself.
Yeah.
So,
I'm the world's worst of like being on like the 6th hole of golf course and completely retooling my swing.
And thinking you'll have it figured out by hole 7.
Yeah.
I've played a fade for the first 5 holes. Now I'm just going to play a draw.
Yeah. Why not?
Why?
Yeah.
So how do you hit a draw?
Yeah.
No.
Look, yesterday, this is kind of funny. I'm buying a new driver, and so Lyndon, one of the guys that I golfed with yesterday and works here, he has the Q10, and so I was trying his out, swinging it, and I was like, you know what? Like, there's one hole on Coleman, it's hole 12, and we were playing from the whites because we have nothing to prove, and so. Like, I told myself, I was like, I'm going to uncork one. Like, I'm just going to hit this thing as hard as I can. And I was like, you know what? I know I'm going to slice it. So I'm going to aim to the left and let it fade back into the green, and it's going to look like I meant to do that. Piped it straight. I mean, couldn't have hit the ball any better.
Over in the tee box?
Yeah, on 11, which ended up being, it was like a 280-yard drive. Like, I was like, looked up, gave the driver back to Lyndon, and I was like, you know what I just heard? Cha-ching. That's what I just heard.
Dollar sign.
Yeah. I was like, you know, go ahead and add that to cart now. No, I think you guys, you're right on the community, and where y'all are based out of, like in Warrior in the downtown area, there's already, you've got such a cool, and we've got some shots that we'll add into it. You've got such a cool setup right there on the main Highway 31 in Warrior. It's just, you pull up and it's got this downtown feel to it, and it kind of takes you back, and it's kind of nostalgic kind of feel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But you walk in and then everything is kind of, you know, high tech and everything, and you just walk in and you feel like, hey, you know, I actually went down by myself and hit and destroyed my back. Because I probably swung like 400 times that after in 1 hour.
You still have an hour.
I know. I got to go take care of that. Need to get my range of where I actually hit. It's going to look real funny when I got a 9-iron, then I can hit 125, and an 8-iron, then I hit 75. But anyway, you know, I was there, and there was a couple, you know, pretty decent golfers. And I realized pretty quick, if you're a golfer, you realize real quick when you see a good golfer, it's intimidating, right? Because you're like over there, like, I'm trying to figure this stuff out, and this guy's popping 300-yard drives and all that stuff. But I felt still okay sitting there working on my game. So I think y'all have done a really good job of creating an environment where everyone feels welcome, and you can kind of just do what you need to do and kind of get better. I appreciate that. So for myself,
I think it's the time I went down and played it, it's very, you know, how the bays are set up. You in a sense, it's even kind of private too. So if you bring your group, you have your area that you can set up at and have a good time, and you got other people that can have a good time there as well. And so it's very. You said community. I think it's very community driven. It's another thing is the location. I mean, you know, there's a lot of good golf around, like from Warrior out around, you know, Birmingham area got some great courses. And I didn't realize that Alabama is kind of known for some pretty good golf.
Good golf, yeah.
I
want to say top 10 in the country. I mean, top 10 state-wise, but don't quote me on that.
Yeah, I think so. I think I had a guy yesterday talking that loves golfs a lot, and he was saying something about that. Him and his friends are planning an Alabama trip, just hitting golf courses. So
I was going to say a lot of people do that too, because we have the Robert Trent Jones trip that starts from North Alabama and goes all the way to South Alabama. And I think there's 17 courses.
Yeah, it's
something like that stretches across the state.
So
and
some good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, and you know, a lot of people use bringing this up. You know, curveball. You know, we got contacted by. So a lot of people use the app the Golf Now app, to get a discount on. You know, you can look on the Golf Now app, which has thousands of courses, and that's where you can get a discount if they're partnered with Golf Now. It's like an NBC Golf Now type app. Well, we got a phone call and an email from a guy who they just got into doing indoor like simulator facilities, and it was cool because he called and one of our employees answered the phone. He was like, hey, this guy wants to speak with the owner. He's with Golf Now. And I was like, it's probably a spam. He's like, no, I think it's legit. So I talked with the guy for 10 minutes, and he said they were just getting into the indoor facility because it's growing so much.
It is.
So me and Ryan have a meeting with that guy soon to try to get in with, the Golf Now, which would really help.
Oh,
absolutely, yes.
Just another avenue for marketing.
Yeah, absolutely.
They advertise for you already for free. So I mean,
anybody that's in the area will be able to look you up. Yeah, absolutely. That's great.
I've used that website a couple times, hitting some places that, a guy that's a 25 plus handicap, I'm not gonna pay the
full price.
Yeah, full price to just leave the place and be upset at myself. But so I that's awesome for you guys. And talk to me a little bit about the obviously with being an indoor facility, the plus is the elements are not in play, right? So when you have a rainy day, when you have a day that it's just cold and you don't want to be one of these guys that are out there bundled up playing, that's really where you guys shine, is providing a place that you can go out and play a course indoor and not have to fight the elements.
The rain and the cold is our best friend. We pray to God for rain, and we want cold winters. And then we can set up elements. If someone wants to play a course and they want the wind and they want the rain, it can be added. That with that software, that can be added and turned on, and or it can be just hitting like you're hitting in a 72-degree building, with perfect conditions. So, and you can turn the lie penalties on. That's what's so cool about that software, is you can turn the lie penalties on to where it's playing so realistic, to where you have to do the math like you're a professional caddy, to where if you're in the rough, you have to subtract the ball speed and the way the ball's sitting, and hit it like you would hit it if you were on a real life golf course, which is just crazy that those very expensive monitors can pick up the spin and how you make contact with the ball. But technology nowadays just blows my mind. Unreal. So
and let me tell you, the rocks, it does make the golf ball bounce.
Yeah, I mean,
found that out.
And if you're in grass, or if you're in bushes, or if you hit trees, I mean, it's realistic.
It is.
I mean, it ricochets, it gets stuck. I mean, you can't get out.
Well, I mean, it's one of those things too. It's if you really want to know what you're like, you just go in there, because it's not gonna lie to you.
No, it doesn't.
You can't fool it.
I'll be honest. I kind of walked out of there with my head down. It's like, God, we got a lot of work to do. Yeah. But no, the first when I was down there, I did a par 3 course, and my first one I hit, felt really, really good about it. I was like, oh man, that is tracking. It hit a rock, and that thing went like it shot straight up in the air, and went down and hit the green, and I got a birdie out of it. I was like, well, that never happens in real life. If I ever hit a rock, it
goes the other way.
It comes back towards me. I'm like, at least it's giving me the luck. But it really is a cool area. So we talk about this a lot on this podcast of purpose, right? We talk about, that's our tagline, lead with a purpose. What would you guys say your purpose in doing this is?
Kind of like I said earlier, the community. Yeah. Whatever we can do to help grow the community of golf, whether it be, we're bringing up a younger generation. We have a lot of younger kids that are in high school, and even middle school and younger, that come in there to learn the game of golf, and that's what we want to do. We want to strive to teach them the game of golf and give them we're open late too. Yeah. So if they want to come in on the weekends later at night, and maybe we keep them away from things they shouldn't be doing. They're in there hitting golf balls instead of out at a party, maybe like we were in high school. Yeah. So we're kind of like you guys. We're driven by the faith of God, and we want to instow that into younger guys, and we do that with our employees too. Mason can kind of touch on that. Our goal with them is just to give them leadership in the working environment.
Yeah. That's something that's missed. I mean, if anybody watches this podcast, you'll hear me say it over and over and over that today's world, the reason we're in the situations we are in the crazy world we live in is because we're missing servanthood, servant-felt, heartfelt leadership.
Yeah.
And that's in business, that's in families, that's in churches, that's in, you can go every direction, politics, wherever that is that there's the leaders, and I don't like to call them leaders because I don't feel like they are, but they lead out of a selfish mindset about themselves.
People follow in fear.
Yes, they follow in fear, absolutely. And so I believe that the way we change our culture of today, that isn't good in a lot of areas, is by us as leaders saying that we're going to be different, and we're going to teach our children, we're going to teach our team members, our employees, and they're going to feel that the leadership that we lead with is true, heartfelt servanthood, Jesus example leadership.
Yeah.
And and I love to hearing that, because that's I mean, I embody that. That's I'll go on a rant here shortly if y'all let me.
Yeah.
So
I mean, that's what me and Ryan, tell our employees, or if we're interviewing someone, we say, hey, we won't ask you to work or do something that we would not do. Like if we come in and we see something that needs to be done, or if it wasn't done, we'll address it. But first we'll do it. If it wasn't done or needs to be done, we'll get it done first.
Yeah.
But it will be addressed,
right.
And be like, hey, why wasn't, we'll communicate, we'll talk it out, figure out why, figure that out. And then we our employees, like me and Ryan, will work on Sundays because we want our guys to be in church. So, and then same for Wednesday nights, unless they want it, they'll say, hey, I want to work Wednesday because I want the hours, whatever, that's fine. But other than that, me and Ryan will work Wednesdays and Sundays just because we want our young guys being at church. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And kind of with that, talking about the faith side of it, through this journey, what is something for the audience that something God, I guess you say God has taught y'all? I know it's kind of a hit you on the spot question, but something that God has taught y'all through this journey of Paw Patrol, through faith and things of that nature.
He said it too.
I mean, I would say for me it's prayer. Without prayer, we get lost. We're constantly pulled in directions that we probably shouldn't be pulled in a lot of times. Dig down, get in your Bible, pray. Don't make a decision without prayer, because I feel like decisions without prayer lead to disaster. It's just that's what I've been taught from.
Yeah, absolutely, and Paw Patrol, by the way. I caught myself as it was coming out, but I was like, I just gotta send it.
Yeah, you're good.
You're
just
good,
man. Obviously prayer, but for me, most people that know me know that I've never been the most patient person. So I would say,
I second that.
I would say probably patience and controlling anxiousness, because I struggle with seeing I like to it's hard for me to know that I see a bunch of chaos going on when it's people having fun, and that's what we want. But it's very hard when it's oh my gosh, that's a $10,000 machine on the ground, and and someone just drilled it with a golf club, and you're and I'm Ryan, I gotta go. So I can say, and I hope Ryan can attest, I feel like I've come a long way from when we started, because I used to be I can't handle it. I
mean, that's true. I mean, that's
so patience with that as well, because it was hard for me for a while to be Ryan would be hey, we have this party going on, and I'd be I don't think we should do it. And he'd be but we talked about doing it. I'll be like, I know, but I don't want to do it.
Well, it's been fun watching Mason grow. Like, just spiritually as a man, because like he said, he was impatient. He wanted to control everything. And I'm not trying to say that he is controlling. I'm just like
No, I know what you mean.
When he starts something, he wants
you
to.
Want to have. I mean, you want to have
go
your hands
all the
on
way,
it.
all the way through with it. And Mason, I'm like, I'll tell him, I'm like, look, there are things that are out of our control. Pray about it.
Yeah.
And he's like, but they're gonna break it.
Prayer is so it's so important. I actually heard a guy this week say, and it challenged the mess out of me. He said if Jesus came down and stood in front of you, and he said the answer is yes, and you say, Jesus, yes to what? And he said, everything you prayed about the last week. He said, what would be different? What would change?
Back that up a year, and you'd be really shocked. You'd be like, man, I'm glad that didn't happen.
And I'm sat there. This is kind of funny. Like, when he said that, I started thinking about, like, Wiley's, my youngest son's been a little sick, and I was like, well, Wiley wouldn't be sick anymore. There's little tiny situations. And then it hit me, something I prayed about, and this is so funny, and y'all are going to get a kick out of this. We're coming up on the Masters, right?
Yep.
And so I may have an opportunity to go to the Masters. And so I had kind of prayed about like, if it works out, that'd be awesome, to get to go and see that course and walk the course and everything. But the thing that made me laugh was I actually prayed. I asked God, I was like, God, let Tiger win one more.
And then he tore his Achilles.
Yeah. And then then I hear that video and I'm like, well, Tiger would win one more. And I was like, good for Tiger. But it kind of made me chuckle a little bit. I was like, you pray about that stuff, but like there's other decisions you don't pray about,
Yeah.
I'm like, but it's super important for all of our lives. And
talking faith and business. I mean, if we're honest about it, our business, all we have financially and everything was never ours anyway.
Yeah,
it's all God's.
Yeah.
And and I love that when I see that in y'all in businesses where there's a bigger thing going on than yourself.
Yeah.
And it's impacting lives around you. I heard this the other day, and going back to the statement about community. It said that stop saying that I'm gonna give back to my community.
Yeah.
I'm not giving back to my community. Because they said, what have you ever taken from them?
Exactly.
They said, change it to this. I'm going to serve my community.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, that is so true. We hear it a lot in business where we're like, man, I'm doing this to give back. But what have you taken?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's good.
What have you taken?
That's good.
So switch it to I'm doing this because I want to serve the community. And I think that's what y'all are doing is serving the community and the people around y'all. And I'm definitely going to be down there quite often. I'm gonna get with y'all and get a membership signed up and because I need to. Some days I just want to go play it by myself, but I don't like to be on a golf course by myself.
Yeah.
To be honest, I don't.
Yeah.
I never enjoy being out by myself on a golf course, but I do some days want to go work on it myself by myself and going to a driving range. There's people everywhere, and so I like the idea.
And that's what a lot of our which most of our members, I say a lot, we only have like 20, but the majority of them only use it for the range anyways.
Mm-hmm.
They'll come in there and just use the range feature on the software, and they say it helps, and I'm like, hey, if it helps you, that's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
That's what it's about.
I could totally see that because it, like hitting your clubs and knowing exactly how like your yardage is so beneficial.
Well, I was going to say one of the great things too is, I mean, you go to a driving range and you're nothing against driving range. I love to go to a driving range. I love to go hit them, but you're getting practice balls or you're getting, you're not getting, and here, at our facility, you can use your own golf ball.
Yeah.
Bring you a sleeve of your own golf balls in, hit them. You get instant feedback of how your equipment is going to react outside.
Yeah.
Not necessarily just.
And you don't lose the golf ball.
Exactly.
Which is a big plus for me.
Yeah. I will say, I do have to remind people, people do get frustrated, and I say, hey, you have to remember, like, it is a game, but it is a simulator machine. It is a monitor, and it is a turf hitting mat. A lot of people don't like turf.
Mm-hmm.
So people that are steep on their swings and like divots, they get mad because they'll get the lefts, and they'll hit that hook, and because they'll get that ricochet off of the mat, and they'll toe hook it, and it'll go left, and they'll be like, well, that's not accurate. Well, it is accurate. It's because that turf is not letting you get steep on the ball, and they get mad, and I'm like, look, it is accurate if you were outside, but it's because you're inside, so that's where they kind of get mad.
Yeah, and you just gotta, like, that's what I'm pretty steep on my approach. Usually my divot's behind the ball, not in front of the ball.
I was just gonna say, most of those people also take about 7 or 8 fat shots during their round.
Yeah, exactly.
They nailed me to a T.
And I mean, that's one thing that's there for is, I mean it gives instant feedback on that, and so if you learn to strike the ball correctly inside there, you're going to go out and you're going to start striking the ball correctly on the course, and it's going to instantly improve your game.
100%.
Yeah.
But real quick, let's break and let's hear from one of our other great sponsors, a guy that you guys both know pretty well too. So, so we'll let them tell you a little bit more about it.
Guys, we got to talk to you about Strokes Gained Hydration. Because let's be real, most of us don't drink enough water, and when we do, it's usually missing the electrolytes we actually need.
Exactly. Strokes Gained is designed to keep you hydrated the right way, with the perfect balance of electrolytes, no unnecessary sugars, and clean ingredients that help you feel and perform your best, whether you're out on the course, at the gym, or just tackling a busy day.
We've been using it, and the difference is unreal. Better energy, better focus, no midday crashes. If you want to stay on top of your game, check them out at strokesgained.com, strokesgained.com, and use code YodersTalk for an exclusive discount.
Hydrate smarter, feel better, and keep winning your day with Strokes Gained. All right. Well, so let me. I want to kind of come out of this break a little bit different. I want to ask y'all a couple of quick fire questions, because you guys are golfers. What if you could play one course, what would it be?
That's a tough one, but of course I'm always going to say Augusta National.
Yeah, you have to say Augusta. What about you, Mason?
I'd probably say this. Man, I don't know. I'd probably say Pebble Beach.
Pebble Beach is nice. I'd have to go Augusta myself. It's just something different about playing that.
I don't want to putt over there.
It's the course putting, that we're all never going to play.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't want to putt over there. So.
No, the putting. I heard a guy say one time, he was like, if you started from the furthest part of the green at Augusta, like, and that be your tee shot, do you think that you could beat a Masters champion? And I was like, no.
Yeah.
What about you, Clinton?
Man, Augusta's, there's a few over, I think in Switzerland or Sweden over there. There's one over there.
Scotland.
I cannot. Or Scotland. Thank you. That's where it's at. Yeah.
Yeah, the old course.
Yeah, I'm one of these days.
You can come to Par Patrol.
You can come to Par Patrol.
Yeah, that's what. There you go. That's what I was about to say. You know, we're sitting here saying that we would love to go play that, but you can go to Par Patrol. I got it.
Yeah.
And actually play them.
Yeah.
So and don't have to spend the money of travel and. How much does it cost to play Augusta? Does anybody know?
Well, you can't.
You can't.
You can't.
Yeah,
it's invitation only.
It's invitation only.
That means it's going to cost you a lot because you're going to have to figure out a way to get an invitation.
What about this real quick? Do y'all have a favorite golfer? You can say a favorite golfer all time, and then maybe one that's like current.
I've always liked Rory. There's a lot of controversy on people that don't like Rory, but I've always liked Rory. But I would have to say my favorite golfer that I like to watch is Colin Morikawa.
Yeah.
I love his swing. I just love the way he swings the golf club.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like Rory. I know like Ryan said, a lot of people don't. I like Rory. I would say I like what Scotty Scheffler's doing with the game. Like the way I watched a video, podcast that Bubba Watson was on the other day, and he said, what Tiger did in the 2000s was his run in 2000 was incredible.
Yeah.
But he said the run that Scotty went on last year was the greatest that he's ever seen with today's competition. So I don't know how you couldn't think that Scotty was right now like the best. Obviously, he's the number one golfer in the world right now. But I mean, I just like what he's doing with the game. I love Tim Scott as caddy. I'm a huge Scotty Scheffler fan.
Yeah.
I don't know how you couldn't like Scotty
Right.
Scheffler.
He's a great guy, too.
Yeah, just good human being, good guy, just a lovable human, fun to watch.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they're all great. And
I love Bryson. I love
Oh,
Bryson.
dude, how can you not love Bryson?
There he goes.
Dude.
And just chase this
Dude,
rabbit. I love Bryson.
Were y'all not locked in on TikTok when he was hitting those
Dude,
shots over
I've
his
been
house
watching-
every single day?
Dude, I've been watching his YouTube since he started.
Every day I'd hop on TikTok and be like, "Is today the day?"
Yeah. Bryson's a big one. I love Bryson.
Yeah, he's awesome. Well, listen, I know that's fun. I kind of want to get you guys' opinion on it. But what kind of legacy are y'all kind of wanting to leave behind through Par Patrol and just not just that, but through y'all's lives? What y'all have like anything that you go like, once I'm done, what am I leaving behind? Because I think it's important to kind of keep in your head.
Yeah, I have 2 boys. I imagine that Mason and Laura someday down the road are going to have some. And I mean, both of us, our mindset behind this and is to leave a legacy to where maybe our kids can take over it. Maybe we have a safe place for people to come to enjoy the game of golf and just, not have to worry. That we know we want it to be set in stone that it's there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Foundation in the community.
Yeah. Like Ryan said, just a firm foundation, and we want to be known for like pretty much what you guys said. People come in and they're safe. Like they're like, hey, like I feel really good here. Whether I know I'm not going to be judged for my golf swing or how I'm playing.
Don't judge.
Yeah. Whether I'm spending an hour in here, whether I'm spending 3 hours in here, or the guy next to me is a scratch golfer, shooting a 72, it doesn't matter. We want people to feel comfortable, and we want to have that firm foundation in the community to where, or if someone's like, hey, I know those guys are faith-based guys and they're a pillar in the community. Hey, let's go talk to them because my family's struggling right now. They might offer assistance. We get a lot of people come to us wanting to sponsor schools, this and that, and like it hurts saying no because when you go, as you probably know, you probably get a lot of that too.
Yes.
When we first opened, like we were just poured, and it's like, God, it hurts saying no because me and Ryan know a lot of people, so we've also been helped a lot, and we're grateful for the few people that have been like, hey, we're gonna plug y'all in, and we're gonna get this plug for Mortimer Jordan, high school, or Hayden High School for this, and we've been very thankful, or we didn't have to pay certain. We had traded something off, and people have been like, "Oh, well, you sponsored this," and I'm like, we didn't pay to sponsor that. We traded something off, or it's because we know this person and they're a friend of ours. And there's been certain things where we have sponsored and supported, and there's been certain kids we've had to be like, "Hey, we're sorry, we can't." But we wanna be able to do that, and we want people to be able to come to us and be like, hey, they're great people. Maybe even if it's someone, hey, our power bill, we're struggling. If we're able to help, like that's the kind of legacy that we want to leave, and have another location somewhere, and maybe it becomes a thing.
Yeah,
Who knows?
absolutely.
Who knows what God wants to do
absolutely.
with us.
And if you trust Him through the process, and just continue to take them steps of faith, momentum. When God's on your side, momentum is unstoppable.
Yeah,
I believe that wholeheartedly, and I love that. Talking a little bit about what you said about it's tough to say no. You know, we've been in business for a long time, and people look at us and say, well, you've been in business for, you know, all these years. You should be able to help anybody out there. And y'all been in business, you know, basically over a year. I mean, getting close as far as when y'all started planning it out.
Yeah.
And even then, people look at you and say, well, you're a business owner, and you should be able to. Well, the fact is, and I want to say this, so if another business owner out there is listening, you know, make sure that you understand and don't allow the devil to shame you when you have to say no. Because here's the thing: if you say yes to it all, you won't be in business to help anybody one day.
Yeah.
And so just pray about it and let God direct you on who to help.
Yeah.
And let it be attached to your why a little bit.
Yeah.
That's one theory that we always use is, does this actually this mission or this person that's asking for something actually embody our mission of what we're trying to accomplish?
Right.
And that kind of gives us a little bit of a buffer, you could say, on who we actually help. So, but yeah, it's when you own a business, all of a sudden people start thinking that you can save the world.
All kinds of money. And you're like, hey, you solved
You
third world
started yesterday
problems.
and you're rich.
Yeah.
Give me money.
Yeah. Solved third world problems. Here you go.
Hey, it don't matter if you get in $100 million a year. If you spend 102, you're going broke.
Yeah, exactly.
The more you make, the more you spend.
That's it every time.
100%.
So, absolutely. So.
Well, guys, I know I've enjoyed the conversation. Before we jump out of here. I want y'all, because you kind of changed your restructuring how you guys take bookings and stuff too, with your website and stuff like that. Talk to us a little bit about what that change looks like.
Yeah, so we recently, I'll cover that, and I'll let Ryan talk about, you know, the whole pricing ordeal with it. So we recently did a whole facelift remodel on the inside, which everyone seems to really like. And then we also we have a new website that's been created. We kind of went to a whole new booking model, which is pretty great. It's a guy who reached out to us, and him and a buddy just was traveling around, and they saw a need for, that's kind of like desperation church, you know, see a need, be the answer.
Yeah, be the answer.
So they were traveling around to indoor golf places, and he was like, man, there's not really a solidified booking for a lot of these places, like a way to book. So they created a software, and it's very clean. So we went with it. So we implemented in the new website. So now we went with that and kind of got rid of how we were doing things, because the company we were using, they were great. They accommodated us well. They did everything that we had asked, and but it wasn't really for indoor golf. They kind of, you know, adapted it with Google Calendar just for us.
Yeah.
So, but this is geared more towards indoor golf places, and it works well for us. So it's just a couple clicks. You go on, and you just kind of book your bay and put your information in, and we changed from, you know, per person per hour to just a full bay per hour, and I'll kind of let Ryan handle that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you know, we got, I wouldn't say a lot of complaints, but we got a lot of great feedback from people coming in that, you know, why do y'all charge per person? Why do y'all do it this way? Why do y'all do it that way? And we took that to heart. You know, that's what we're there for. We're there to listen to our community. How can we make it better for them? So what we done is we, like Mason said, we restructured it, and now it's $45 per hour. It doesn't matter if you're one person or 8 people. It's $45 for an hour.
Mm-hmm.
You can divide that up amongst yourself. One person can pay it however that wants to work out. You know, same thing with our memberships. Our memberships are kind of staying the same. You know, we have them priced out where you have X amount of hours. So for instance, we'll start with our lower one, $80 a month for 5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you pay for 2 hours, you get 2 hours free.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty much what you get. Well, 3 hours free for the month.
Yeah.
And you know, so we just restructured that payment like that, because it was, you know, if you bring 4 people in during the week, $20 per person for an hour, that's $60. Now you do, 45 divided by 4, it's $12 a person.
Yeah.
So I mean, we were doing that just to make it, I guess, more appealing to them, for them to be able to do that. So that's just.
I mean, and it's very reasonable. I mean, I think that's. I mean, for people that are, don't want to spend the money for, going out and actually playing a course, they can come down there with a couple of their buddies, and it's very affordable to play around.
Yeah, I mean, you can realistically play with auto putts on. You can play around a full round in an hour and a half if you really wanted to. But really, I mean, it makes it more affordable for the larger groups to stay longer. And then I asked the guy when we did our onboarding session with the new booking software, I said, hey, what about the single individual with paying $45 an hour? I said, do you think it's fair? Because he's done a lot of these all over the country. And he said, it is fair because you have to put a value on their time there.
Absolutely.
Because they're going to get 2, 3, 4 times the amount of swings by themselves versus
with the group,
with 2, 3, and 4 people. So it is fair for someone to pay, hey, $45. It's just me for 60 minutes in this bay. So they know what they're renting and what they're getting for that amount of time, and it makes complete sense.
Yeah, absolutely. So good stuff. No. Well, y'all gonna have to go check them out, guys. I mean, these are some great individuals. You'll have a good time. Lord willing, I'll try to be down there in the next few weeks myself. And it's if you're a golfer, or even if you're not and you want to get into it, it's a phenomenal place to just go hit some golf balls. I mean, even if you're not a golfer, everybody likes to hit a golf ball. Yeah. I mean, seriously.
Do y'all have just for maybe people that are getting into it, they ain't got clubs or anything? Do y'all have like clubs that they can use when they're, say, trying, or is that something y'all getting into or anything like that? Or do they need to have clubs when they get there?
If they're just getting into it and they're just wanting to come try it out, we do have clubs that we rent out.
Okay.
We have some for kids, we have some for adults, we have some for right-handers, we have some for left-handers.
Nice.
That was something we kind of built and put together in the back. I mean, it's not the greatest equipment.
Yeah.
But it's some of my old clubs. It's some clubs we bought.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, we have it set up there, so if they don't have their own, they can come try it out. But we do ask, like, if you're trying to improve your game, bring your own clubs.
Yeah, absolutely.
You want to know how your
absolutely.
clubs
look. Yeah. We highly encourage people to, people call and they're like, hey, do we bring our own? And we're like, we highly encourage that you bring your clubs.
Yeah.
We want it to feel like home. We want someone to feel like. We want them to feel safe,
Absolutely.
So,
now, if you want to come use my clubs, I'll let you. I don't care.
Your clubs are probably still better than mine. But, well, awesome, guys. Well, guys, thank y'all so much for coming on, and thank y'all for y'all's friendship.
Man, thank y'all.
Yeah, y'all
appreciate
been awesome people. We, going to church together and everything, and so I just really appreciate what you guys are doing in the community and giving a place where somebody can go in and they can feel comfortable and get better at a hobby that is honestly, in my opinion, one of the better hobbies to do. So
thank y'all.
Yep, absolutely. Well, yeah, I'll say that as well. Thank y'all so much for coming on, guys.
Thanks, Clint.
It's been a pleasure, and hopefully y'all continues to grow for y'all, and we're always here. If we can help in any way, it'd be an honor to do so. But guys, we're going to close out this episode. We appreciate so much everyone that takes their time to sit on our crazy YouTube channel and watch these two rednecks talk about our passion, and that is, servanthood, leadership, leading with a purpose. And so yeah, make sure you go like, subscribe, share this episode, and let's get it out there for Paw Patrol. Let's get it out there. Let people know about them. They're a great company, and they embody what we embody here on the podcast. So just keep being who y'all are. Keep leading from the heart. Leaders out there, never give up. Don't quit. We believe in you. We trust God through the process. Have patience. knowing He's in control. And, just go be great. Go be great. So we're going to sign off with that. We love y'all. God bless you. And always remember to lead with a purpose. Guys, thank you so much for spending some time with us here on Yoders Talk today. We hope that you heard something that you can apply to your life and make your life better and a more positive impact on those around you.
If you like what you heard, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, like, comment, and please share to others. You can also find our content on Spotify, Facebook, and TikTok.
We're excited also to bring you some new merch this season. Click the link below and you can go there and find you some awesome, great quality t-shirts, hats, hoodies, whatever you see there, and hopefully you can truly enjoy that. But without further ado, I want to leave this with you. Always lead with a purpose. God bless you.